Welcome back to my Goose Reviews. So, this is some news that came out a couple days ago. I really didn't get a chance to touch on it. But man, so Jaleel White was talking about the impact of Family Matters. Now, if anybody remembers Family Matters, man, Family Matters when it came out, say like 89, early 90s, like 1990. Of course, Family Matters had its run, I want to say up to like 98. So Family Matters was on TV for a very long time. But he was talking about the impact of Family Matters and how it is compared to other black sitcoms at the time. I mean, come on, man. At the time when Family Matters came out, I want to say the Cosby was still on television. Different World was on television. Fresh Prince was just starting out. I want to say Martin came out just a little bit after that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it definitely had a lot of competition. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you had your Living Singles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Around the time, late mid-90s, like hanging with Mr. Cooper and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it had a lot of, back then, man, there was a lot of black great sitcoms on television. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. And Family Matters was a part of that. But he talked about pretty much how being a part of the TGIF brand, you know, back then in TGIF, I want to say it was like, off the top of my head, I want to say Boy Meets World, Full House, I want to say like Step by Step, and Family Matters was a part of that group, you know what I'm saying? He's like, being a part of the TGIF brand, we're not really looked at as amongst the other black television shows at that time, you know what I'm saying? He's like, if Martin's in the group, he's like, Martin's getting picked over us, you know what I'm saying? He really didn't say anything about, he's like, Living Single, if that's in there, they're going to get picked over us, but he was like, if they're not in there, then the Family Matters is going to be ranked really high. What do I think about that? I think that, you know, he also talked about, too, before I get on to that point, how Steve Urkel became, like, the figurehead of black nerd culture. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Steve Urkel was a nerd. Hey, man, like, later on in the seasons, this man's making a clone of himself. He's becoming Bruce Lee with Carl, man. It just went crazy at that point, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but yeah, Steve Urkel was, he was that, you know what I'm saying? But Steve Urkel was a great character, man. He was a really cool character because Steve Urkel saved that show. We're going to keep it a buck. He really did save that show when he came on. So his character saved Family Matters, you know? So, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, like, Steve Urkel's, especially in that time in the 90s, bro, he had his own, like, toy. Steve Urkel was a huge, huge figure in pop culture at that time in the 90s. Yeah, so, man, so I understand where he's coming from, but I will say that Steve Urkel was a great 90s character. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he stands the test of time. Let's keep it a buck. Same time, I understand where he's coming from as far as, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, being around, like, other black shows at that time, like Fresh Prince, Martin, so on and so forth, man. But those are some heavy hitters, bro. They were some heavy hitters. But at the same time, so was Family Matters. I think, to me, man, competition breeds success. You know, that's my personal opinion. And I think that having those shows on TV at the same time, it was great for television, man, especially me growing up. I remember watching all those shows. I remember watching all of them with my family, especially my mom and dad. So it was a great time for TV. Yeah, and I can't say, I think that if you do a ranking of black sitcoms, I do think Martin, Fresh Prince, you know, maybe the Cosbys. Well, yeah, I think maybe, yeah, they probably will put the Cosbys over Family Matters. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in a different world will be ranked higher than them. That doesn't mean that Family Matters hasn't had an impact in the black community. I think it's had a very big impact in the black community for as far as it ran, man. Family Matters, like I said, ran for doggone near 10 years, man, on television. So, and it had a great cast, you know, a great cast of people, you know, so, you know, I understand where he's coming from. I understand where he's coming from because I'm a fan of Family Matters, but at the same time, yeah, I think that in our community, yeah, maybe Martin and Fresh Prince and Cosby's and so on and so forth are maybe more highly regarded or highly looked at, like, oh yeah, we like those shows a little bit more. But at the same time, that's not to knock Family Matters. Family Matters has some really great moments, has some real teachable moments too as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember those episodes. I remember when, who was it? When Laura almost got jacked. You know what I'm saying? With the whole gun episode. I remember all that stuff with Family Matters, but they also had great messages and very heartwarming messages too as well. You know what I'm saying? So Family Matters is a great show that I still watch. You know what I'm saying? I'll pop it on here and there. I know it's on Max and everything like that. But look, I love Martin. I love Martin. I love Fresh Prince. Those are probably like my two favorite shows. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say at the time, man, they probably were like the two biggest shows. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the television and everything like that, because I guess when, you know, Bad Boys came out with Martin and Will Smith, their first movie, that was a huge deal, the first Bad Boys, you know what I'm saying? Having those both, like, headline their own movie. So, yeah, man, I understand where Jaleel White's coming from, but at the end of the day, I love Family Matters. I think it's very important to black culture, to the black community, you know what I'm saying, especially in the sitcoms. But, yeah, so are those other shows. But overall, that was a great time. If you were there, it was a great time to be alive. It was a great time to be there and watching those shows. But at the same time, hey, look, they're still on streaming services. So if you've never seen them, go check them out. But I remember seeing them air and, you know, waiting for, like, you know, seeing like those commercials for the next up. Hey, man, it was just a great time. Overall, I love them all. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section about his comments. Hope everybody has a blessed day. I'll see y'all soon. Take it easy.